Yeah, I'm so glad to be back in Overland Park. I had meetings yesterday at Benedictine College. Yeah, let me take it. Okay. I want to thank Wendy, our wonderful 40 Days for Life leader. This is such a critical location in, thank God, a post-Roe America. And so I love that she was using Winnipeg to guilt you into participating in 40 Days for Life. I guess we kind of do that in Houston, you know. We're like, well, it's really hot, but, you know, we're not in hell, you know. We're not standing on the sun, you know. So it's very good. February the 22nd in Kansas City. It sounds cold, for sure, to Texans. I also want to thank Ruth from Advice and Aid. You have, and I don't say this everywhere I go, but you do have one of the best 40 Days for Life campaigns in the country, and one of the most important, one of the reasons that I'm here. And you have one of the best pregnancy resource centers next door to your abortion facility. And so do not take those for granted, because that's not common everywhere to have both of those operating at such a high level. And so it is very important. We all know what's been going on in Kansas, and I think that we need to remember that it's not that I'm from East Texas, so the Baptist preachers would always say, you know, brother, we know who wins at the end of the book, you know, and we do know who wins at the end of the book, but our Lord invites us and challenges us to participate in his victory. And right now, number one, we need to recognize and proudly announce that June the 24th was one of the greatest days in the history of the United States of America. And it's one of the greatest days not because we got what we wanted, or we're right and they're wrong, or we had some political victory. No, it's a great day because our Supreme Court corrected their error. They've made this error twice. Hopefully they stay out of the dehumanization business for good, because the first time it didn't work out very well with Dred Scott when they dehumanized legally blacks in our country. And then the second time they did it, it wasn't because of the color of their skin, it was because of size and location, and they dehumanized the unborn. We didn't vote on abortion. It was an all-male Supreme Court that gave us abortion, and one of the greatest atrocities certainly in the history of our country and in the world, because nothing is proportional to abortion by the sheer numbers alone. There are 56 million in the world every single year, and the Supreme Court corrected their error. And when you read the opinion that Alito brilliantly wrote, they didn't overturn Roe v. Wade. They beat it to death with a baseball bat, because it was bad law, as Ginsburg said, and it was poorly decided. And so they overturned Roe. And there's a sentiment that the pro-life movement is sort of supposed to have in the eyes of the world and in the eyes of the media, which is we sort of walk around with our head down, you know, apologizing for this victory and apologizing for the fact that they overturned Roe, as if now people do not have access to heart surgery, or they can no longer get their broken ankle fixed. And we are revealing the biological reality that abortion is not health care, which is why one side has to constantly say that it is. Abortion is health care. Abortion is health care. You have to say it over and over again, because it's not true. And we don't have cardiovascular surgeons have a conference at a hotel, come out, hold a press conference, and declare that heart surgery is health care, and they will always stand behind it, and they will oppose any politician who says otherwise. They would be crazy, because we all know that heart surgery is health care. And these are all signs that we're winning. And that is why we ought not be discouraged by what happened in Kansas. We ought not be discouraged by the ridiculous reactions we see in a post-Roe world. for an abortion industry and a Planned Parenthood business that was ill-prepared and unprepared for the overturning of Roe versus Wade. And that plays out every day. So the more ridiculous things that you hear, that's a great sign. The more absurdity that takes place is a great sign. When you have politicians saying that they made up that the heartbeat starts at 6 weeks, that's a good sign. All of these are good signs, and that's why at the forefront of this, we ought not get discouraged. Thomas Aquinas says that the chief fruit of charity is joy. The chief fruit of charity is joy, and joy is what we are allowed to have when we come out here on the sidewalks. No woman is jumping out of her car to have an abortion, stomping on the ground, screaming about reproductive rights. We know that's not what leads to this place. What leads to this place is brokenness, is loneliness, and fear. The abortion industry survives on fear. And our joy, our love, and our mercy overcomes the clouded mind that they have that is leading them to pay a physician to brutally end the life of their child. And that's why we've had over 22,000 women choose life. That's why the former abortion workers like Abby Johnson, who walked into my office in 2009, she was the 26th out of the 242 abortion facility workers to have a change of heart. She was our first Planned Parenthood director to have a change of heart. We've had 3 total.